Welcome to Leaving CrazyTown with Finn and Sarah. I'm Finn. This is Sarah.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Today we're going to talk about what, Sarah?
We're going to talk about a very important topic. Roadblocks to recovery.
I just want to point out that Finn's version of recovery is from alcohol and drug addiction, food addiction, shopping addiction, gambling addiction, relationship addiction, probably sex addiction at some point.
Yeah,
and,
I've been to SLA.
Codependence recovery, and people pleaser recovery.
Yes.
So basically, when we say roadblocks to recovery, we mean
across the board.
Across the board. And to me, it really means anything that interferes with my ability to live my authentic life.
Yeah, and to grow and change and become the person you want. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so roadblocks to recovery. Finn, you got, I have a few listed. Should I rifle off a few, or do you want to?
Do rifle off a couple, Sarah.
All right. Ego and pride.
And how do those manifest in
All right,
our recovery roadblocking?
All right, so ego and pride to me mean a few things. It means I don't need any help. I can do it all by myself. I have all the answers. Now this, of course, this is not me. I have all the answers. I don't need anybody. And the best one for addicts and alcoholics, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and this is exactly me.
Go ahead.
Exactly me. Sarah's saying it's not her. We're going to have an analysis of that later. All
right, go ahead. Any examples?
Yes, absolutely. So one thing that was very, very helpful to me in recovery is doing my amends.
Got it.
Something that made me not want to make certain amends to people is when I felt that they harmed me.
Right.
So thinking that the harm they caused me was worse than the harm that I caused them was like my ego in the way. I want them to admit what they did to me before I'm willing to admit what I did to them. My sponsor walked me through it, worked with my higher power, and I was able to make amends to those people. I'm still waiting for amends back. Some of them are parents. And the thing is, I wouldn't have had the freedom in my recovery if I was still waiting.
Yes.
My recovery isn't about what other people do.
Yes.
And the minute I need to be justify how I acted or what I'm doing in my recovery be based on what other people are doing.
Yes.
That's a major roadblock for me.
Major roadblock. Okay, brilliant. I was just thinking a major roadblock to do with the ego and pride, and the same topic is, so I've been sober a zillion years and I'm 100 years old. And I just say that off the bat. Okay, my son calls me 100. This is the thing. There have been numerous times in my recovery that I've needed help. And sometimes what happens when you've been sober a while is you have this mini shame attack, and you think to yourself, I shouldn't be fucked up. You think, I should be beyond this. And that attitude and those feelings of shame that you should be in a different place than you literally are can get in the way of asking for help. I mean, honestly, folks, 10 years sober, went to treatment, okay? Went to treatment. Hadn't picked up, but was insane, okay? So that was 10 years of sobriety. About 15 years of sobriety, was engaged to someone, and again, feeling insane again, thought maybe I should ask for some help, started doing some step work. So there have been numerous times in my recovery where I've had the thought oh crap, I'm in a lot of trouble here. I don't want to admit it, but to surrender and acknowledge it and share it with someone means I can get help. And every time I've done that and surrendered and asked for help, it's worked out. Okay.
Yes. So another version of a roadblock to my recovery is substitution of substance. So for instance, food instead of alcohol, pot instead of alcohol, gambling instead of alcohol, relationships, shopping, planning trips, anything to escape how I feel in the moment.
Yes.
So
good.
Basically, avoidance of feelings definitely is a roadblock to my recovery. And, you were saying the thing about should. So sometimes when I feel bad in recovery and I'm feeling down and low, like, I don't know where I got the idea that 72 and sunny means I'm doing well in my recovery. Feeling a little sad means I'm doing poor in my recovery.
Right.
So judging and taking the temperature to see where I'm at and deciding what that actually means instead of just feeling my feelings and looking at how I'm acting. If I'm acting well and I'm doing what I need to do, my recovery's fine. You don't need to measure it and then judge myself over it. So that's one of the things.
Oh my God.
Oh, and busy. Busy. That's a major roadblock to my recovery.
Huge. Oh my God, but I almost started crying right then. Okay, this is the thing. And now I'm not sure why I was going to start crying, but the whole idea of like the feelings thing and like thinking that we need to be in a different place. Like when I came to see Finn today, so the last 6 months of my life have been really new because I let go of a practice, I let go of a house, I've let go of a lot of things, and I've been in this kind of what I call no man's
limbo
land.
Limbo land.
I'm in no man's land, limbo land. I have dreams about feeling lost all the time because I am a little lost. And I was meeting with someone yesterday and she said the R word, retire. And I said, I can't even say that out loud because I don't see myself, like that word doesn't fit for me and I'm on a tangent now. I'm just kind of waiting for God to guide me to the next thing.
Sarah, this is God. You're missing the path. No, just kidding.
But it's been really hard because I have the same belief. I need to be 72 and sunny. I'm an addict. I want to feel the same way all the time and it needs to be good. So it's been this adjustment to kind of really be flowing with the different feelings and be okay. I will say that one more time. Be okay with exactly what is happening today.
Drop the analysis paralysis, people.
Stop and yes. Okay. One more thing I had was this.
People, places, and things.
Okay, go ahead, and then I'll go. Go ahead.
I was going to say, they could be a roadblock to my recovery when I'm invested in making sure they're all in the place they should be and doing what they need to do.
Exactly.
None of my business. Staying in my hula hoop over here.
Perfect. Okay, last one is this, and this is a hard one, you guys.
Now, mind you, it's not the only last of all roadblocks. Of all roadblocks. Because we could be here all day.
We could be here all day. But this is one I've noticed, and I know this is going to be that I'm taking other people's inventory, but sometimes I notice people are in denial about stuff. Like, and I think, and I can be this way. I can be in denial about things. But what sometimes I notice is like not being able to be honest with myself about the truth about something that's happening in my life. So say, for example, I don't know, I'm in financial trouble. Or say, for example, I'm eating my socks off or whatever it is. Like, to me, getting honest with myself and trusting my friends and the feedback they give me is key to get out of denial about a certain roadblock in my recovery. So that's all I'm going to say. All right.
Denial. Yeah. I wonder sometimes are they even aware of it?
Well, denial.
But I know people who share something with one person and then they share how great it is with the masses or whatever.
Right.
And to me, I actually shared this at a meeting yesterday of Alcoholics Anonymous. I need to be able to go into a meeting and tell everybody, this is crazy.
Yes.
I am, my mind, I mean, I have been separated from substance abuse, but I need to separate from what my mind tells me. That's really where the issue is.
Yes.
And if I cannot be honest, that's really the roadblock. Like, and it's to myself. I have a great manipulator, translator, twister, you know, like my brain's so quick at it. And I suffer so much when I start telling myself my version.
Nice.
And I had a great sponsor who would always be like, what's underneath that? Well, what happened before that? What happened before that? Really got me to see how full of crap I was.
Yes.
Even though it sounded good, it didn't seem like I was full of crap. I really believed it. But having someone in my life that I was willing to listen to probe and get to the underneath stuff is really important.
Yes, and okay, now I'm going to say it again. This is the last thing.
One more last thing.
One thing Finn just reminded me of, something that's really critical along this line of denial is, and I say this in my book, Co-Crazy, but the bigger the discrepancy from how I truly feel inside and who I'm presenting to the outside world, the greater the pain, the greater the disconnect, the greater the possibility for depression, the greater the possibility for anxiety. So one thing about getting clean and sober or being in any type of recovery program is trying to match those, trying to match the insides to the outside. So who I'm presenting is who I really am. And that is a key to recovery. So
the crazy thing about that is I bet most of you are going in your mind to when you feel sad and you go out in public and you act happy or you talk to your friends and things are fine. But what came to mind for me is the exact opposite. What I found, I did that a lot. I never knew how I'd be acting. It depended. My fear of other people's opinions of me had me acting in all sorts of crazy, can't share, I'm fearful, insecure, I can't tell you what's really going on when I'm having a hard time because I'm a failure. But it happens in the opposite. Where when I first got into recovery, I didn't know how to communicate with people unless something was wrong. So when people think like, so I'm happy and joyful and my wife died and I'm sad, right? So I would go out and people who knew my wife died and whatever, I'm like, they think I should be sad. So they would be like, how are you? I'm like, oh, I'm okay. When really I'm okay. So the discrepancy really was uncomfortable for me. I'm not having an authentic relationship with someone else. I'm not being true to myself. And I'm feeling like that pain gap. So it can happen in either direction.
Yes,
like absolutely. I'm not happy my wife died. It makes me very sad. But I do have moments of happiness. And having to go out and perform grief behavior because of what I think people expect out of me really was making me uncomfortable and miserable.
God, that's a whole other piece. You're absolutely right.
But it's the opposite of what you were saying, but it happens in both ways.
It happens both ways. So the most important thing, and I want people to think about, what are your roadblocks? Put it in the comments. What are things that get in the way of your recovery? We're going to wrap this up. But the most important thing is to be able to connect to yourself so you can connect with others. We're leaving Crazy Town. Fasten your seatbelt.
Drop the shoulds.
Drop the shoulds.
It's a major roadblock for me.
Amen.